Hi everybody! If you are new to budgeting, what I'm going to be sharing with you today are the 3 biggest budgeting mistakes that Jeff and I made early on in our budgeting process in the hopes that you can avoid making those same mistakes. So the first budgeting mistake we made was we didn't communicate. So I'm the nerd in the relationship, I'm the one who's in charge of the finances. So all I simply did was put together a budget, ran the numbers, showed him and said, hey, this is what we have at the end of the month, so don't overspend, okay? And that was the end of it. I didn't ask him for his input. I didn't really put much consideration into other expenses that we might be incurring above and beyond our regular ones because that communication wasn't there. So if you are starting the budgeting process, you want to make sure that the first thing you do is communicate with the person that you're budgeting with, whether it be a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, and get their input into what is going to make the final budget. The second budgeting mistake we made was we didn't check in with that budget ever. It just sort of was plunked up into the fridge, and that was the only time we looked at it. Because in all honesty, I thought, well, I'm being financially responsible. Look, I have a budget. But we were never actually checking in with the budget. We were never looking at the categories. We weren't keeping track of our spending at all. So needless to say, even though we had a budget, we weren't actually following the budget. So if you are new to budgeting, please make sure that at least once a month you're checking in with that budget to see how things went overall and see what adjustments need to be made on either the budget's part or the spending part. So the third biggest budget mistake that we made early on was we only made one budget and assumed that that budget would work for all 12 months out of the year, and that simply isn't the case. So what we learned to do very quickly, if we wanted to make the most of our income, we realized the importance of making a brand new budget for each and every month, because there are going to be some months where you have an extra pay period, which means you have more money than you normally would to allot to whatever your financial goals are. There are going to be other months where some expenses might be a little bit higher. So if you have a birthday or some type of event that you need to budget for that doesn't happen each and every month, you want to make sure that you account for those things as well. So it is so important to make sure that you're doing a new budget specific to each and every month. So those were our biggest budgeting mistakes. If you yourself are guilty of making any budget mistakes, please feel free to comment down below. All of us can learn from those mistakes in hopes to avoid them in the future. The other thing I will link in the description box is a URL to the budgeting template that I use. Now again, I'm a paper and pencil girl. What you see in my budget reports is pretty much just for video so that you guys can see it a little bit more clearly. I do record everything on paper, so I will link the budget template that I use down below if you're looking for one. Otherwise, guys, that's it for this Tuesday's video. I will see you on Thursday with another budget saving money related video. So we'll talk to you then. Bye.